He owns Mad Madeline's, the best hamburgers in Temecula, California.
Awesome.
All right, guys. All right, guys, we are live. Jaime,
All right.
do the intros. We're live. Here we go.
All right, man. This is another edition of Rolling with the Punches, Sunday night edition or version or whatever you want to call it, man. But we're here at 6:30, going live, rolling with the punches with the champion on our side by the name of Mighty Mike Anjando. We have Dave Trujillo from the House of Pain out there in Temecula, and we have Dave Contreras out there in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and myself, Jaime Ochoa, here in Nuevo California / Riverside, Paris. Thank you for coming and joining us today. How's everybody doing tonight?
You know what? Over here in Fort Lauderdale today, the weather was gorgeous. And it's summer. It's starting to get a little humid because, I mean, over here, our summers are extremely humid. But it was a gorgeous day, beautiful day. Thank God for that.
Hey, Dave, I want to start off something, man. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to join Trujillo out there in the Temecula Old Town area. And I'm going to tell you something. That man threw on a nice event. He had a grip of cars, beautiful cars. I enjoyed the cars. I enjoyed the food. We did some raffles. We did some nice things out there. Dave got down, and I'm really hoping that people, support his cause out there. He had a lot of people, a lot of support out there, and it was a beautiful thing, man. It was packed, bro. To me, to be honest with you, seeing the amount of people that were on the streets, happy, the cars cruising down the street.
Awesome.
The smell of onions and all that good smell up in the air, man. It just
all the tacos.
And the tacos, the hamburgers. It was a sense of normal, man. It was beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Dave,
What a
you
blessing.
got down through Hill.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. And thank you for
Good
blessing
job,
us. You were there. You know, we plan on doing a lot more here with the community. We're being embraced now by the community where years ago it was kind of tough for this type of community to wrap their arms around us. But times change, and they really don't have a choice anymore because we're going to love them and hug them anyway.
That's what it's all about. You're making your name, and people are catching on. That's great, dude.
Yeah, and so thank you, Jaime. We really appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. And those mouthpieces that you ended up getting, I got to give a little plug into to my boy Ray Baldonado out there in San Bernardino. He has a beautiful ministry out there, brother. And when he came up to me, he said, "Hey, how can I help you guys? I know you're involved in boxing." And I'm like, "Hey," I told him anything to do with boxing, it would be much appreciated. So he says, "Hey, I'm going to try to help you guys get some sweats, some shirts, some mouthpieces, this and this and that." So he called me, and he got a hold of some mouthpieces. So we took some out there to the House of Pain.
Great.
So I just want to give a shout out to Ray Baldonado and his crew out there in San Bernardino. He has a beautiful ministry out there, and we're going to bring him on board in one of these episodes, man.
Definitely.
The guy does beautiful
Absolutely.
work. And as a matter of fact, Contreras and him and his company, they ended up coming together and doing some kind of ministry out there in Tijuana. So Contreras kind of hooked that up.
Yeah.
To bring
beautiful.
some people out there and help a lot of the orphans and the people that needed a lot of help out there, a lot of the refugees and so forth. So but right here, man, rolling with the punches, just not boxing, bro. It's about helping everybody.
Yeah,
You know what,
beautiful.
Jaime? I also want to say, Jaime, he also is helping Janae Olivares with Marv Nation. You know, Marv Nation, I guess the director, he's a pastor of a church there in East LA, Whittier, I think. And the King's Ministry, Ray, is also helping them with food. So
Wow.
I'll tell you, Ray is a big blessing. Big blessing. Yeah, I would love to have him on the show so we can acknowledge his great work.
He's a big baseball guy, bro. But we're gonna make him a boxing fan.
No doubt. No
He
doubt.
doesn't know
He'll
it
be
yet.
one.
Yeah,
He'll be
that's
one.
right. Yeah. Hey guys,
Shout out to Ray.
yeah, shout out to Ray and prayers to Ray. And you know what, Dave, if you ever need food for the guys, or if you need anything, call this guy Ray. The guy does miracles. The only thing he doesn't do is turn water into wine. When he does, then we'll bring him on the show. But the guy walks on water. The guy does great work.
Wow. That's
Well,
beautiful.
guys, let's talk about the fights last night. What did you guys think? Did you all get a chance to watch it? Let's talk about Navarrete. Navarrete versus Pitufo Diaz. Did you get a chance to watch it, Jaime? What did you think?
Yes, I did.
What did you think?
What a
Navarrete
fight.
is no joke, brother.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He broke him down, you know. I mean, it was, if I may.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Tell us. Give us.
No,
You're the champ.
No,
Tell us what you
Diaz-
saw.
Diaz came in. He brought a fight to him, but Navarrete methodically broke him down. And you
Yeah.
know what? I mean, it just ultimately took him out in the last unbelievable finish. It seemed as if it was a 12th round TKO, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it seems as if it was planned because he boxed him so beautifully throughout the fight. Now, mind you, I will give credit to Diaz because Diaz brought a good fight and very competitive. But Navarrete, it seemed like he was in control throughout. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think Navarrete is 5'8", and I think Diaz was like 5'6". But Navarrete's reach was 72 inches compared to Diaz, which was 64. It was 8. I think it was 8 inches. But I mean, they're about the same size. But I'm telling you, that Navarrete, the way he fights, the awkwardness, and that uppercut. My
The
God,
uppercut, that's what I was gonna say right
Yeah,
now. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know, those
outstanding.
hooks and those uppercuts are brutal, man. And he knows how to pay those dividends to that body. That's for sure, because he made a huge investment throughout the whole fight, man, just banging that body with those hooks. And those uppercuts came because of those hooks, you know, and he was just relentless. As Diaz kept firing up, he kept firing right back. Everything that Diaz had, Navarrete had the answer to. And so everything, it's almost like you punch me once, I'm going to punch you twice. You punch me 3 times, I'm going to punch you 4 times. I mean, he just has that type of dog in him, but he has that skill and that talent, man, to really work that body. And what you saw was a man beaten by the body at the end of that fight.
Yeah.
He broke him down, definitely.
Yeah. And you know, they were saying that he was hurt during camp. That's why I think it was on his right knee. He had the band.
Oh, that's
and
right.
and then when he
Saw that.
fell, like in the 6th round, remember he threw a right hook and all of a sudden he fell back. I thought, oh my God, there goes his knee. And then I saw him basically staying, you know, a little bit, you know, on his left knee instead of his right knee, using it a little more than he did. And there was no doubt that this man was hurt. But you know what? It's the warrior in him. It's the Mexican warrior that just, you know what, just overcame it, the adrenaline. But what a fight. Outstanding fight. Yeah.
That was a beautiful fight.
Yeah.
Well earned. That was a well-earned fight right there.
Yeah.
That was one for the books. Those are the types of fights that we need to keep them coming just like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jaime.
With that right uppercut. Man.
Oh,
Jeez,
Jaime, what do you think about Berlanga? Tell us about your opinion on Berlanga. You saw that one, right?
Oh, I'll tell you what, you know, I mean, he still ended up taking care of business, you know, at the end, but, you know, him calling out the people he's been calling out. Now he better keep on getting some more fights under his belt.
I knew you were going to come with that.
Yeah. But I just want to go back a little bit to Navarrete's fight.
Yeah.
You know, he's very unawkward and kind of very unorthodox, right? And to me, I was watching his foot work, and if he learns to be just a little bit patient, a friend of mine right now, about 30-40 minutes ago, we were talking about him, and you know, we were both kind of commenting on the fight. It was a great fight, blah blah blah, and he's a great fighter. But if he just learned to be a little bit more patient and sit on his punches a little bit more, that guy would be devastating. But I think it's just his style, man. The unorthodox that just makes Navarrete who he is.
He's a continuous come forward fighter. I know what you're talking about, Jaime.
Hey,
he lives on that front edge. The front edge is what he lives on.
Yeah.
And he flies by that front edge.
Continuous,
There's no
continuous,
going
breaking
back.
them down.
It's always the front edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, champ, did you ever, during your career, fight a guy like Navarrete that was a little awkward, had longer reach, and just, I mean, those uppercuts? Did you ever fight anybody like him during your career?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I definitely did, against a gentleman by the name of Edwin Edgar Valero, Ever Baleño. And this guy here was an unbelievably awkward southpaw that brought everything but the kitchen sink. I gotta tell you, he brought all the moves of the old timers as far as when it comes to dirty moves. And he cut me on both eyes. I literally both my eyes, the size of my finger, I had cuts the size of my fingers on both eyes. So from the second round to the 10th round, I went 10 rounds. And what an unbelievable, it was a feeling like, it's hard to explain, but I couldn't stand still after, because I lost so much blood during the fight. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
people were
interesting.
asking me like, what's, how are you standing up, because everything was covered in blood. From my shorts to my shoes. Everything, because that's what came out. Luckily, though, I did have a lot of blood, but I would have had a lot more if I didn't have the cut man that I had in my corner. And that gentleman there saved the bout, because in the second round is when I got cut. And that's when this guy stopped it. This gentleman stopped it. His name was Joe Chavez, God rest his soul. But he was
Really?
one of the
Wow.
best cut men in Southern
Yeah.
California. And you could ask anybody and they'll let you know that he was. He was.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Jaime, I have a question for you, Jaime. Okay, so now they're saying that Navarrete is getting ready. We're considering going to 130. How do you think he'll do at 130 with Shakur Stevenson, with Valdez? And I think Gary Russell went up to 132. How do you think he'll do at that weight?
Well, he definitely has the heart.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. I think he'll do well. Will he dominate? That's still up
To
in
be
the air to
seen.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I definitely feel that he has the heart and the luggage down there to make it happen.
Yeah.
So you know what? Might be a good move. I mean, financially, I think that's why he's going to make that move.
Yeah.
Because there is bigger, better fighters out there for him. Some better names, like you just mentioned. But I would like to see it.
Yeah. What do you think, Dave?
I think we're going to see Navarrete for quite some time. I think Navarrete is still learning and still getting better, even as a champion. So, it's, I think him stepping up in weight is just a process and part of his journey. And I
Mhm.
think he's going to dominate. I really do.
Yeah. Okay, guys, getting back to Berlanga, we didn't get a chance to really, went back to Navarrete. What was your overall opinion on Berlanga? The Berlanga fight.
Berlanga. He, it was a lot of there was a lot, I believe that there was a lot of expectations for Berlanga, and that didn't deter him, but that did help his opponent out in saying that I'm gonna carry him through the whole fight so I could be the first fighter to take him the distance and whatnot. And that helped him. But Berlanga, he still showed a lot of new fighter not mistakes, but just mishaps. But I see a long future with Berlanga. I really do. With a little bit of adjustments here and there, he can use his power and he could have a style. If he can do that, we got ourselves a champion.
You know what? I saw him winded in the 6th round. I saw him, gasping for air. And then the 7th round, he completely
came
took
back.
it off.
Yeah,
He completely took it off. But in the 8th round, he came in with power. But I saw him winning because you know what? You've boxed. You're a world champion. If you have like him, 16, I'm sure that when he's training, he's sparring 12 rounds, right? 10, 12 rounds.
I wouldn't say necessarily 12 rounds every day. I'm sure that there's some type of there's different amount of rounds that they'll I'm sure that he's not doing it every day because come fight time, I'm sure that it would definitely take a lot out of him. But there are certain adjustments that his training camp makes. I'm sure that he's able to go those 12 rounds with no problem. So I mean, maybe they need to go back and say, okay, we need to tweak this much a little bit, or we need to do this a little bit more, or whatever, so that he won't get so winded. But I mean, like you said, he got winded, but then he just took a round off. He took a round off, and that's normal. In the boxing game, you're gonna have that. You're gonna get tired, but then you're gonna take a round off. You're gonna come back, and what Duke did, and he ultimately finished the way he should have.
Yeah. What did you think,
myself,
Dave?
I'm pretty proud of Berlanga for being able to hang that long. We knew the day was going to come, and the opposition is going to get tougher. I wouldn't say he was that much more talented, but he was tougher. So the tougher they are, the longer they're going to last. And it's only going to get harder and harder for Berlanga as he keeps coming up. That conditioning is done in the gym. It's not necessarily how many rounds you go or how many rounds you spar. It comes in the gym with your physical conditioning. So that conditioning, like Mighty Mike said, champ, as well as I do. You fight, you get tired, you wait for that second wind to come right back in. And the problem is you're not in shape if you don't get a second wind. If you're done, you're done. But you're in shape because you could get tired, but you could come right back and get that second win and start over. You got another 3 or 4 rounds in you. So am I right there, champ?
That's what the second wind is all about, the 3 or 4 extra rounds. You are definitely right.
Yeah. So, it's all about the conditioning in the camp and what they're doing with him there, but they better not rest on their laurels because of and now this will teach them that they can't rest on their laurels, that Berlanga is just going to come out and just keep knocking everybody out in the first, second round. Well, now it's going to be first, second, third, fourth. Who's going to last the 8? Who's going to last the 10? Yeah. All right. But see, he hasn't even experienced any champions yet. Mm-hmm. So, he's nowhere near there. So guess what? Let's just keep taking him to school, and let's hope he continues to learn the right way and doesn't get too ahead of himself there. Because if he does, that knockout thing can go away and he won't have a career.
Yeah. Well, Dave, excuse me real quick.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say, Dave, real quick, it's all about minor adjustments. But I wouldn't want to see his corner, and I'm sure they're not going to change drastically, because ultimately he did come out and he did drop him, and he almost, he could have, we have to remember Nicholson knew not only, that Berlanga is an unbelievable puncher, but he knew that if he was gonna last the whole fight, then he was gonna be the first to do that, and that's exactly what he did. Yeah, so I think he was kind of shooting for that too. So he had that. Berlanga had that on his corner, on his worries as well with Nicholson. Besides, maybe catching him or something like that, he was dangerous. Nicholson was dangerous, and he did a good job. He did a good job.
Yeah, he had like 23 knockouts or something, right? He had a lot of. He had 1 or 2 losses, but he had like 23 knockouts. He hit hard too.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. He came. He brought the fight. He was not going to come in and lay down. I'll tell you that for sure. He did a great boxing.
Yep.
Well, Jaime, next week, you're the expert on the 2 boxers, on Andy Ruiz and Arreola. Give us your assessment, Big Jaime. You're the expert when it comes to the heavyweights. What's your assessment on that, Jaime?
I'm not gonna call that one, brother. I'm gonna take a step back on that one. But all I can tell you, you got 2 Mexican warriors in there, and when you got 2 warriors in there that are not afraid to bang it and not afraid to take it, I don't know. All I know is what you can expect a battle, and that's what's going to happen. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay. What's your prediction? Do you have a prediction, Jaime? Don't tell me the fans win. Don't tell me the fans win.
Jaime, are you predicting new age, old school right there?
I think Andy's gonna. I think Andy's gonna do it just because of his training, the people he has behind him, and he has. I mean, they both have something to prove. I mean, this could be Ariola's last hurrah, but Andy's still in the making to make quite a bit, few more millions if he takes care of business right here. So it's going to be a brawl. It's not going to be an easy fight either way. I can tell you that right now. You got two warriors that just can bang it out. But I'm just going to lean a little bit towards Andy because of the age, and he's more in the prime right now.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, Dave and Champ? Your
All right,
prediction.
Dave, I'll let you first, Dave.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to give it I got a shout out to Andy Ruiz, man. I mean, he dropped a whole human. I mean, my gosh, I mean, just to be able to drop a whole human, you know, that's my business. That's what I do. You know, we cut people in half, you know? So for him to do that, you know, that shows us that, you know, he's going to have the heart no matter what, because when you have to battle yourself and you got to fight those demons on who you are, and you could actually overcome that, there's nobody who could stand in your way. So, you know, heavyweights, all it takes is one punch. I'm with Jaime. I can't predict. I mean, I'm not really going to predict who's going to come out here, but if I'm going to say something, you know, this is going to be a very good step up for Andy Ruiz to step back into his limelight and build his career back to where he needs it to be. And I'll tell you what, he's already impressed me by dropping all that weight and getting in the condition that he's in. That shows me, and we all know he's going to bring it. So, you know, is going to be a fan favorite? Heck yeah, it's going to be a fan favorite. Is going to be Ariola's last hurrah? I believe so. I you know, I believe our you know, I love Ariola, but you know, let's give it to Andy right now. I mean, he's coming back, and Ariola could never get in the shape that Andy. I've seen Ariola get in shape, but he never had the discipline that this kid is bringing now in the part of his life where he needs it, still in his, you know, early to mid 20s, to be able to do this and come back and be a champion. He's got 3-4 years of good solid a good solid run to be back at the championship, you know, title. So hats off to him. I think he's got the edge. I'm rooting for him. He's already got my heart because he's already dropped all that weight and he's conditioned himself, like I said. And he's got the skills, man. He's the fastest heavyweight we've ever seen as a Hispanic coming out. Proud of him.
What about you, Champ? What's your prediction?
Here's the thing, Dave. I'm gonna tell you this. Ariola, I will say, has, you know, he has everything that it takes to do the impossible in beating a younger, more familiar Ruiz. Ruiz, and he can do that if he's able to. You know, I believe he has Joe Goosen in his corner. Am I right, Ariola?
Yes.
Okay, so if Joe Goosen can get into his head and be able to teach him how to box a little bit better and how to throw the correct punches, he can do this. You know, he can do the same thing that happened to what's his name in his last fight, Ruiz in his last fight. You know, against the champ. So if he can do that, if he can fight like the champ, if he can fight him like him, then I think it's going to be a long day for Ruiz. It's not going to be easy. Ariola has it still. He can still, mind you, I'm gonna side, you know, with Ariola, you know, but because I'm gonna say he still has it right here, and this is his last hurrah. So of course he's gonna go in and he's gonna do everything he can to get that win. It's gonna be a good fight, mind you. He can't get caught with any, because Ruiz is unbelievable. He has the momentum right now. Don't get in the way of anything that Ruiz throws, because you will get stopped. But if he can box a little bit, I think we're gonna have Ruiz will have a long night in front of him. Ariola can pick him apart if he can box him. Why not box him? Why go against this guy? Why go right in front of this tank and get blown away? Be a soldier. Be a soldier. Go around. Don't go right straight to him and get knocked out.
You know what, Champ? What a beautiful observation of Chris Ariola. You know, Chris Ariola has always been that come forward fighter, and you're right. He's got Goosen in his corner, And if Goosen
Yeah.
could teach him how to settle him down, and he could teach him the patience
Box.
exactly to box and make the moves that he needs to, he may be very well able to pull that off. So let's see if that adjustment with going to Goosen helped him.
Dave,
And I pray it does.
Excuse me, Dave, but this is not fighting.
Yep.
This is boxing, my friends. So we need to understand, and we need to be able to adjust. We need to learn
Just
to
like that.
adjust to our opponents. And if we can
Yep.
do that, then we got a fight in front of we don't have a fight, we have a boxing match in front of us. And that's something that he
Excellent.
needs to do.
Yep.
You know-
I agree,
you know-
champ.
You know what I find very interesting? When Valdez, he was the first to leave Manny Robles, and he went with Canelo's trainer with ¿cómo se llama? Eddie Reynoso and Chepo,
Yeah.
Mhm.
his father.
Mhm.
His first fight after going with Eddie Reynoso and Chepe, he didn't look that good. His defense did not look good, but his second fight against Berchel, it was a new fighter. I mean,
Yeah.
so, and this
Yeah.
is Andy Reese's. He left Manny Robles, and I have the utmost respect for Manny Robles. The man is, he's a man's man. Señor de señores. You could tell when
Well,
he speaks.
Well,
But-
Manny Robles is,
Yeah.
I mean, I trained with Manny as well, and Manny,
Okay.
he's okay. He's okay,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but this Chepe, he's very disciplined, and that's what these guys need to do.
Exactly.
Excuse me. I didn't mean to interrupt. I
Yeah,
didn't mean to
no.
interrupt.
But now this is his first fight under Eddie Reynoso and Chepe. His first fight. So I wonder how we're gonna see him. If we're gonna see a different. So far, he cut him in half. He's half the man. Well, weight wise, you know what I mean? But I wonder what changes are we going to see? More of a defense, or is he still going to be the slugger puncher? What do you guys think? What do you think about that, Jaime? What changes do you foresee Reese having now that he's with Eddie Reynoso and being his first fight? What changes do you foresee?
I want to see if he still has that same power. I mean, to us, he looked out of shape, but the man can go 12 rounds with no problem. So,
Yeah.
The conditioning was there for Andy. I just want to know if maybe the way he was naturally built, is the leverage going to be there? Is the power still going to be there? He looks amazing. I took a look at his some of his pictures lately, and his legs look brutal, man. And there's a lot of power right there. I don't know. I'm looking forward to see. You're going to be able to tell right away in the first 30, 40 seconds, man, if that power is still there, or if Chris is just going to throw him around because of the weight difference of the power. I don't know. What has he cut down to? What exactly is his weight right now? Does anyone know?
255. He went
He's
down
down to
from 285 to 255.
Oh, he's still solid,
Yeah, 30
man.
pounds.
He's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
good.
yeah. He's
It was
got-
funny.
That's amazing what 30 pounds does. I mean,
Yeah.
He
it,
looks so
it
much
doesn't
different.
seem like a lot because
Yeah.
I can gain 30 pounds in a week with a couple of good meals. But
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
like he lost a lot more.
Yeah, he does. He looks good. And he's like 6 feet tall, right? He's like 6 feet tall, right? Dave, we can't hear you, Dave. Dave, your microphone.
You gain the height once you drop that weight.
Yeah.
Dave, you gain that height.
Bizarre.
So he he's dropped it and he's looked that much better. And I think he's gonna be a lot more mobile. Because let me tell you, Dave, I didn't tell you this before, but I've gained 40, 50 pounds at one time. Well, that's kind of been my thing. And I have done that. And you know what? It just leaves you with not being able to do anything. So I can imagine he was able to do something. How much clearer his punches are going to be, how much sharper his punches are going to be, how much speed he's going to gain. I could imagine, the just the thinking in itself, it's going to be better. Everything is. So these guys, they've done a great job with him.
Hey, Dave, you were saying something. Your mic went out. What were you saying, Dave?
Yeah, my apologies. Had a call come through, but you know what? Right in the middle of this conversation here, to drop 30, 40 pounds, what you're going to see actually, I think we're going to see a lot lighter on his feet. he's not going to lose any power. If anything, he's going to gain power because of the speed. Okay, but we're going to see a lot more lateral movement. You're going to see a lot more footwork with him. I think that I say this. I say we're going to see a little bit of dancing from him. You know,
Why not? Why not?
anytime anybody loses that type of weight, it's amazing when you're on your feet, especially in that ring.
Oh yeah.
You feel like
yeah.
you're floating on your butterfly, you know, and it's like, wow, you know, you drop that type of weight, man, and all of a sudden your knees work, your hips work, your ankles work. You don't feel like you have 2 cinder blocks on each leg or each foot, you know. So now I think you're going to see Andy Ruiz actually come out and really have a competitive boxing style to that, you know, knockout arsenal. I think he's going to show some good talent. Really
What do you
good.
guys think about being a pay-per-view? $49.95. I mean, what do you guys? What's your opinion on that, Jaime? On being a pay-per-view?
Not bad, not a bad price. I mean, I mean, even if I wasn't, you know, as involved as I am, that's a fight a lot of people want to see.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to
So-
see and pay to see that. I agree with
I
you.
pay
Jaime.
for, yeah, that's exactly. I pay for seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
I wonder how many numbers, how many numbers are going to get this kid that fought this YouTuber. I think he got like 2 million buys, right? Or 1.5 million, something like that.
That's all
Wow.
popularity.
He broke
That's
records, this
fantastic.
kid.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. I was reading something about that. Hey guys, I have one last thing, and then you guys have whatever you guys have. What do you guys think about Ryan Garcia withdraws from the July 9th fight against Javier Fortuna? And he says that he's withdrawing for medical reasons,
Yeah.
whether it's psychological or physical. What do you guys think about that?
He's waiting for something. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, he was
I don't know. I
waiting.
think you're right.
He was waiting for Tank Davis, and he was also waiting for Pacquiao. But I mean, Javier Fortuna, in order for him to get a championship, I mean, he has to fight somebody to
gotta
get
do
to
it.
Haney or to get to Teofimo. What do you guys think about that?
I
I
think
think he's
waiting for
sandbagging
someone.
it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's sandbagging it. I think any fighter that's ready for battle and for war, you know, if you're going to use the excuse that you're not mentally ready, especially right now in this time of his career being so young, we shouldn't have those issues. Those issues should not even be a question at this point here. So whatever he's doing outside, because it looks like he lives his life completely all around boxing and also, you know, Instagram, because that's his claim to fame there. But I don't know if a little bit of the old golden boy is rubbing off on him. I just hate to see somebody go in that direction because, you know, when you have mental issues and health issues like that, especially at that age, then what are we going to deal with in another 3 or 4 years or 5 years, or are you going to be around for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, or what's going on? Right now, he should be solid, mentally ready to bang with everybody who gets in his way. You want, you want to be in that height. You're going to take everybody. So I don't know what's going on. I think the champ may be right. He may be holding on something back. He may be, but no, bad move.
I agree with you, Dave. I agree. I 100% agree with you. They're holding him back too much. And you know what? There's too much out there for him to just be, you know, just right where he's at. He should be going up against all these top-notch fighters. He's the champion. He's got to be top-notch, don't you think?
Yep.
I agree with you, Dave.
Yes, I agree.
What do you think, Jaime, about that?
I think he's holding off. I think you know, somebody got in his ear about some possibilities with some big money and some big fights, and I don't think he wants to risk. I mean, it's sad. He should take the fight, you know, regardless. But you know, I think in his mind, if he's going to risk it all, he wants to make maximum capital on that, and I think that's what it is.
Naturally.
You know, to be honest with you, I hope it's not. It's not this. I
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
do hope it's an excuse because he shouldn't have those issues right now. He has the whole world in his hands, and
Yeah,
I don't know,
why
man.
not? Why not take advantage of that, right, Jaime?
take advantage of it, man. Make it
Let's
happen.
go.
Because
Big
You know,
fights.
champ, I always go back to these type of situations when do you remember the Destroyer Garcia, heavyweight?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So
Yeah.
he was holding out to make some big money. He fought a nobody. He got taken out.
That's it.
End of story.
That's
Mhm.
it.
He missed his big money opportunity because he was
Don't
holding
want
out.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just gotta take them on. Take them on. If you're a fighter, a boxer, when you're a boxer and you're at that level and you're training and you're ready to go 100%, it doesn't matter who you are. If you feel
Mhm.
that you're the champion, which he's already champion, let's go. Let's go. You got all the guys. You got them waiting for him. So let's take them. Why not?
Mhm. I
Hey,
think it's safe to say, gentlemen, that Ryan Garcia right now and what's going on with him in his camp and whatever they got going on, it's not falling under the fight now, not later deal. And that's where it hurts these guys because they're going to hold back and they're going to try to get those wet signatures, for the bigger bucks or what have you. Jaime, you said it right there. It's only going to damage him. It's only going to hurt him in the long run. And I think we all agree, you want that warrior status, you got to fight now, not later, and you fight everybody who comes in your path. Period. You want to be the best, prove it. Fight everybody.
yeah.
Got a lot of potential. He can do it.
Mhm.
You know what, guys? I was going to tell you, I know we're on live, but I wanted to bring this to your attention. I still haven't learned. I see Robert Garcia. I see many others, Ali, and so other people that I follow, boxing analysts. And the majority of them are on, instead of using Facebook, they're using YouTube Live. And I think on YouTube Live, people could actually, as we're talking, be sending questions. So as we're
Yeah.
talking, we could be answering. What do you guys think? I know we're live and, we have a couple of folks watching us, but we could discuss this. I mean, us four, what do you guys think of starting next week going YouTube Live? I know I finally learned how to use it. So that's why I'm bringing it
course.
up. So I could go YouTube. I don't think I could go Facebook and YouTube Live at the same time. But what do you guys think? Or maybe I can. Maybe through because I'm using my laptop. Maybe I could use my iPad for Facebook and then use my laptop for YouTube. Because one thing that I'm excited about is I want to answer questions from our fans.
Why
As we're
not?
talking, I want them to say, "Hey, nice shirt, Jaime, luck of the Irish." You know what I mean? I want them to be talking about that. And hey, nice baseball hat. Hey, Dave, rolling with the punches. How's the pain? And just answer those questions. What do you guys think if next week we go live? Because I'm the one that's running here from Florida. I could go live on YouTube, and then we'll go live with my iPad on Facebook. Are you guys okay with that?
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay.
I say
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but you know what? As we're speaking here, I'm taking a look at our feed, and it goes, there's Lazaro. What's up, fellas? Hey, Lazaro.
Órale,
Francisco,
Lázaro. Yeah.
He's
All
looking.
right.
He's
Yeah.
diving in, brother. We
All
hope
right,
you guys
all
feel
right.
better, Laz. I know you got sick there. Your dad. Talk to your dad, and we wish you all the best. I know you have to cancel that fight for the first, but I know it'll be in June now. So we pray for a fast healing for you, Laz. And then so we also have Jamie Sanchez. He's on there. We have Aaron Duran, who's fighting and when. Well, I think we just answered those questions for you, Aaron.
Aaron.
Okay, Paco Perez. What's up, fellas? What's up, Paco? How you doing, brother?
Paco.
And then here's what he says right here, gentlemen. Paco says this. Let's see. Let me put it here. He goes right here. He goes, if Andy stops Chris in a very impressive form and within 3 rounds, what does this say about Reynoso? So that's a good question right there. What does that say about it?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it gives them a lot of notoriety.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yes.
If I may, gentlemen,
Mhm.
it does. But we got to remember, Ruiz has come in with that power, unbelievable power that he has.
Mhm.
I mean, he's always gonna have that power, but it does say that Reynoso does. He knows exactly how to work with them and how to bring them down and how to make them a phenomenal champion again.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, we saw it with
highly of
Canelo.
Mr. Reynoso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw it with Canelo. We saw it
He's
with
really-
Valdez. Yes.
Of course,
No doubt.
he's doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
transferring both of them. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a fantastic way.
Yeah.
So
And guys, I also, Jaime, if you could talk a little bit about that, because you know more about the case, but if you could just tell our audience right before we finish, because tomorrow we're having our first meeting with Carol Steinler. If you could just talk a little bit,
Wow.
tell them what we're going to be doing as a group, opening this case. If you don't mind talking about it, because you know her personally, and you're a lot more intimate on the case than I am as of right now. So if you don't mind talking about that real quick, it'd be great.
All right. Well, basically, Carol Steinler is the daughter of the late Howie Steinler,
How is time?
Main Street Gym.
Mystery gym, man.
Very, very notorious and historical gym in downtown LA. Many of the legends have trained there, came out of there. They were just an awesome place and gym and part of boxing history, especially for Los Angeles. But unfortunately, he was murdered, and it's to my understanding, the last time I spoke with one of the main investigators, Marv, he basically was saying it was one of the longest reigning, if not the longest reigning, cold case in the state of California.
44
So-
years. 44 years, Jaime.
Yeah,
He was murdered in 1977. 44-year-old case. Yes.
So yes, so it's one of the longest, and if not the longest, like I mentioned. And so rolling with the punches will be. I don't think I've ever heard of any boxing site do this. So we might be the first to ever do this. So we're going to make history.
Beautiful.
Following Dave here and his expertise as an investigator and former law enforcement, and he's going to open up the case, man. He's going to open up the case. She gave us permission. Dave went through all the protocols and has everything in place where the investigation is going to happen, and we're going to follow it here with our channel. And Dave's going to try to solve it. So, man,
Awesome.
yeah,
Well, I will tell, gentlemen, if I may,
Yes.
Howie Steinler was my former trainer who trained me my whole amateur career, Joey Olivo.
Really?
He was his manager,
Mhm.
and he knew about all this. Joey went through all this, so if we could have him also, I'm sure that
Absolutely.
he'd love to. I'm sure he'd love to tell
Yeah.
his story, his end as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
and Joey was managed by
Yes.
by Rudy Tellez.
Of course, yeah.
So we got the people, man. We need to get together and get
Yeah.
all those pieces of the puzzle and give them to Dave so he can start his research. But I'm excited, man. It's never been
Fantastic.
Yeah.
done, and we're gonna be part of history right here with that.
Yeah. And Jaime,
Fantastic.
Dave and Jaime and Champ, what's really interesting, people are starting, I don't know how they're starting to find out that we're getting the process of doing this. We're actually going to be having our first interview tomorrow with Carol, but even Edwin Valero's son has reaching out to us, wants
Wow.
us as soon as we solve this case with the help of the community and all of us in a group, wants us to investigate his father's death. Wants us to go and
Interesting.
investigate it. So
Interesting.
I foresee this is going to open a lot of doors. I mean, there's so many unsolved murders, suicides that have happened, and I think that we as a group and with our viewers that we could make a difference. No doubt, we could make a difference. So yes,
yeah.
thank you, Jaime. Thank you for introducing us to Carol. We're excited. Tomorrow's our first interview with her, and I think that, like I said, and I'm not going to reiterate it, but we as a group and as a community, we can solve this case. There's no doubt at all.
Wow.
We can solve this.
And
Yeah.
a big a big thanks to Sal, man. Sal has that connection. Sal
Yes.
Gonzalez, our PR guy, has that connection with the Valeros, and he's actually the one that reached out to Sal to get to us, to make this happen. So, I know there's an African proverb where it says it takes a village, right?
Yes.
But we got a Chicano one. It says it takes a rancho to raise Pancho. So we need to come together. We need to come together, brother.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, we've been at it for about an hour. Any party words from everybody? Any party words? We'll start off with you, Jaime. Anything that you want to announce that is going on in the community, or any party words, Jaime?
No, I'm excited of what we got in the works. I think we got plenty of solid content ahead of us, especially with these cold cases and these exciting fights. And like I said, I'm just gonna piggyback on Trujillo's great efforts of getting that gym.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, man, they saw that he had a great thing, and sometimes these landlords, they start spiking things up and not really thinking that it's affecting the kids in the community. So Dave had to take a different direction. He has some solid people behind him, and I'm excited to see what's coming his way out there in Temecula with House of Pain and all the people he has involved. And at the same time, man, I value Mighty Mike and then his expertise
Yeah.
and bringing a whole different light. Like I said, there's one thing about being a great fan and being an admirer of boxing and even, just being around boxing. But when you have that strap around your waist, you can't take that away. And that's something that he has that we don't. And it just adds to the show. And
Of course.
it's just solid, man. And I thank you. It's been fun, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Champ, parting words, Champ. Anything you want to tell us? Tell our fans?
First off, Jaime, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I thank you for thanking me. No, really. It's just a lot of hard work and a lot of just dedicating myself. And when I say myself, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to echo the fighters that we speak about and that we acknowledge and that sometimes these fighters aren't going to be able to perform the way that they should because whatnot, but for the most part, the fighters that we spoke about today, the highlights that we had, they've done a great job. And that's something that I want to, commend these fighters, Berlanga and Navarrete. These guys, these guys are the future of boxing.
Yep.
And that's something that we have something to look forward to. So when we see these fighters come out and do what they got to do and they perform the way they should perform, whether it be, when they get the win, for me, a lot of it was just getting that win, and when these fighters just continue to follow through, it just, it makes me happy because it's like, these guys are doing exactly what they should. And that's all that the people want. That's all that the people want and what they ask for. So, hats off to them. Good job, guys. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Well,
Yeah.
now with this Steindler, speaking with Steindler tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna interview his daughter. Yes.
Now we got
I'm
to
introduced.
remember.
Yes.
I had to remember my like I said, Joey Olivo used to train me as an amateur. So that was his manager. So
Is he still alive, Champ?
Joey Olivo, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Good. Well, he'll be
I'd
on my
love to
list. When I go down
Fantastic.
south, I'll be. Does he live in L.A.?
Yeah, most definitely does.
Okay. I'll make arrangements to go interview him. Yes.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
definitely we'll get together. I'll
Yeah.
come with. We'll
Yeah.
all meet together.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Champ. Dave, any parting words? Anything you want to say? Any announcements you want to make?
Well, we're moving into our new building right now. I have the lease papers right in front of me. We're actually signing those and sending the new check off to the new landlords. We've got 2 suites, so they're going to start doing the TIs and tearing down the walls. We're actually able to go into this. We're gonna set this thing up very professional now. We had a makeshift gym set up, in the beginning, but the Lord has blessed us with the community and everybody's help, and He's just put it all together for us. We are now going to be everything from amateurs all the way to pros, but not only that. We're already starting to manage, and we're working with not only 1 or 2, but 3 or 4 different promoters.
Great.
So that being said, this in our backyard, we have the casinos here, and I'm going to tell you this right now, Pechanga right here is going to be a big target for us to really do what we need to do with promoting and bringing these bouts right here to Temecula, California. I preached it before, and I'm going to preach it now, and I'm going to put it out there into this universe, and I'm going to believe it in the Word of God. in Jesus' name, that we will be the Mecca of Southern California, the boxing
Fantastic.
world.
In Jesus' name, most definitely.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Community, once again, thank you very much for joining us. Starting next week, we will be on Facebook and we will also be on YouTube. So please subscribe to Rolling with the Punches TV. Please hit that subscribe button. Please
Hit
go
it
to
right
YouTube and find Rolling with the Punches TV. Hit subscribe button and hit like. We would appreciate it. And we will see
Like
you
us.
next week. God bless
Like
you.
me.
God bless you all. All right.
God bless you.
Live.